Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 19 Ultimate Team Road to Glory, episode number 240 today. That is a lot of episodes. And we're going to start things off by actually switching out our striker. So I know like the title and thumbnail of this video is all about a different striker to help us out with the weekly objectives. So I gave it like 3 games in the last episode, and I think we got 1 out of the 3 objectives complete, and I went on my typical rant about how I don't like the weekly objectives as they are. And I nearly sold Pablo Hernandez, but actually in the end I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep him just in case TOTS prices rise at all. I bought him for fairly cheap. But I am going to list Santi Mina for basically what we paid for him. We're going to lose a tiny bit on tax, but that doesn't matter because it's all about this guy. So I decided that I would go and spend a bit more money, and we'll spend about 100,000 coins on the dot here in order to pick up the 86 rated inform Iñaki Williams, because I think this guy is going to help us out a lot more. He's going to be a lot more like current meta than what Santi Mina is going to be. So yes, we're going to be spending like over 3 times the price of what the last striker was, but hopefully for a player that's going to really make the weekly objectives at least copable for me and doable, you know. So we spend exactly 100,000 coins on Iñaki Williams, 86 rated in form. Now, you might say, lastly, why wouldn't you just go all out and get the Carnival version or Foot Birthday, whichever one it is. I think it's Carnival, right? Because he's better. But the reason is, obviously, I want to try and get the foot swap player as well. So, and that is scoring with informs. So if I get an inform version of a Spaniard that can help me complete 2 objectives in one, that is obviously going to be the good idea, the best idea. And what you might have noticed there with the changes in like custom tactics is I'm actually going to play Pablo Hernandez as the striker and Iñaki Williams out wide as the one of the wide cams, because I'm going to aim to try and get headers out to him. And I always find that, you know, Zlatan, I always score headers with Zlatan in the second half. He's always playing as my wide cam. Crossing the ball from one wide cam to the other seems to be the way to get the headers done, and it's not often that I score headers with my striker. So if I get through on goal with Pablo Hernandez, I can score with his feet, and if I cross it over to the far post, it should be Iñaki Williams there, and that makes sense to me to be the best idea for what we're going to do here. And I also brought in Patrick Vieira on a 7-game loan. I just thought, why not? You know, we'll make it slightly easier for ourselves even further. I'm actually going to play Iñaki Williams off chemistry, but what that does do is put everyone else on chem. So like Pablo Hernandez is now on full chem, and we get to use Vieira for like 7 matches or whatever's left on his loan contract. So I don't ever really anticipate playing with him again, so I might as well just use him now and get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. So then, before going online today, I decided to go and play 3 more games of squad battles, because that's what I needed to do in order to unlock another couple of weekly objectives. So what that's going to give me is a foot swap player and a TOTS player. So just offline, you know, so make sure you guys do that. Put a team together like you just saw, like the Mexican team with a League 1 player and stuff. I managed to get this kit, which I don't like. I can't say I like that very much. I'm not going to be using it. But what we did do is win 3 squad battles matches using 7 Mexican players. So you can start with 7 Mexican players and sub 3 of them off straight away if you want to. And we scored in 4 separate matches using a League 1 player, which was Aidan McGeady, and we get this TOTS Taylor right here, an 81 rated. So he's low rated, but you never know. There might be a requirement where you don't need such a high rated squad. You just need to add a TOTS player, and that's obviously the sort of person I'm going to put into the SBC. So now that we've done like the offline portion and actually unlocked quite a bit for the club, we've got a new foot swap player, we've got a new TOTS player. As you can see, we're now up to 6 team of the seasons in the club. 2 of them are tradable. That is Henderson, the goalkeeper, and Pablo Hernandez, who I actually bought. But we are obviously going to now work towards getting TOTS Rodri. And I said in the last episode that I would continue on this little journey. 1, because I haven't got any like rivals points this week, so I need to try and get at least rank 3. And 2, just because like it's something to do, and if it's too difficult and I'm really getting absolutely nowhere with it, then I'll stop, and we would just buy one off the market or class Pablo Hernandez as our TOTS player that we've unlocked this week. So we'll give it a go with inform Iñaki Williams and see if he can be that beast. So the first game I go into, this guy's taunting me because he's already got TOTS Rodri. Whether or not he picked him up off the market or he's already unlocked him, he's not in it to try and unlock him. That's exactly what he's trying to tell me there by showing off that Rodri. And it took me 2 or 3 minutes to get through with Iñaki Williams, and I strike it green across the goalkeeper, and it flies in, and I'm like, yes. So now we've done what we need to do, and I actually went into the menus and substituted out Pablo Hernandez so that I could, strengthen up my team. But before we got a chance to actually take him off, at the next break of play, he scored. So not only have I gone 2-0 up and scored with Spaniards, but I've also scored with a TOTS player. So that's another notch towards unlocking a Team of the Season kit, I think, which is not going to be difficult to do. I'll make sure I get that done by the end of the week. Or whatever, but we're 2-0 up, which is like unprecedented, and the team feels a lot better with Iñaki Williams in it than it does with Santi Mina. And then he literally stupidly plays it out to me. I score from this mistake, go 3-0 up after 20 minutes, and he's just going to go ahead and pause and quit, which is exactly what you want when you. This is Division 1, and I'm at the top of my skill rating that I've ever been, so I'm up against the people that I would find the most difficult to play against all year, so it's really going to be tough for me. I know a lot of you have got a way higher skill rating than that, but all that means is that you're better than me. I'm literally playing at the very top of my game, which is obviously a lot lower than some of you, but yeah, it's difficult. So to get a 20-minute rage quit and complete part of the challenge is huge, especially for my motivation and stuff. So we got another foot swap player for scoring. I don't know what the challenge was. I just missed it there. But it was scored more than 2 goals in 7 matches or something, and we've done that offline and online. And as you can see, we are 2 out of 6 for TOTS Rodri, and we are 1 out of 3 for score with an inform this week for the foot swap player. Now guys, do me a massive favor and hit that thumbs up button today. Haven't asked you to do so yet, but I know the videos always do better when I do. So if we can get anywhere near 2,000 likes, that would be balling. Thank you very much. I'd greatly appreciate it. Hit that like button. That is your target for today. So in this match right here, I came up against someone who was superb on possession, and it was like crazy possession play, and then also one of the craziest players I've ever come up against who like hounded me down really, really quickly. And it was a complete struggle. But eventually, I actually get this goal right here with Iñaki Williams. So 39 minutes on the clock. I've had absolutely nothing of this game, and I've gone 1-0 up with my Spanish player. At halftime, I can bring Ibra on, I can take Iñaki Williams off, I can do whatever I want to do because I've already got the goal with the Spaniard and the inform. All I need to do now is close out this game and win this match. But this guy was superb at dribbling. Really good at holding possession, like I said. He had literally 61% possession in this game. I'd only really let him have 1 shot on goal because a lot of it was passing in and around the edge of the box, and I somehow managed to stop him from getting the shots on. But, I mean, like, even when he got a chance 5 minutes into the second half, he sort of blasted it over the bar. But I felt like something was probably going to come eventually. Like, it's so difficult. He gets through here with Richarlison, takes the shot, and even though I've kind of got the defender there, and Alisson probably should have made his way back into his goal, it still gave Mbappe the chance and the angle to take the shot and score the goal and get the equaliser. Now, I feel like this guy wanted absolutely nothing to do with the objective, and he really wanted me to not complete it. So he basically held out for the rest of the game, and there you can see, I didn't really have anything in the second half, didn't really have any shots, just didn't get a chance to score again. So I scored with my Spanish player, went 1-0 up, and I didn't get anything towards my objectives, which is right there is when it feels super pointless to me, when the draws happen or when you don't score with the player but you win the game. I'm not going to go over it again, but that was a pointless and complete waste of 20 minutes of my life. So we go into the next one. This guy obviously doing a little bit of the League SBC grind, as well as having just a genuinely nice team. And early doors, he put some pressure on. And I could tell straight away that this was a Division 1 player, because a little bit like me, he'll get out wide and he'll flick the ball up, ready to take the cross and stuff. I should have done that with Aubameyang right there, but instead I went for the first time, didn't flick it up cross with the weak foot, and obviously that's not going to work. But we break clear here and try and get a goal. Hernandez whips it over to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I believe I cut inside of the defender here, go for the low-driven strike, but it is a good save from Thibaut Courtois, and we go again to try and go into the lead. So I'm not necessarily forcing it to the players that would be the Spaniards to score, but if they get through like this and score, then yeah, great, brilliant. But, you know, I'm not going to not take that chance with Aubameyang, because at least if we got in the lead, we're more likely to win the match, and then we can worry about scoring with the Spaniard afterwards, right? So I did the job. I could take the TOTS player off. You know, we'll leave Iñaki Williams on the pitch for at least the end of the first half. 1-0 up in this game right here. Aubameyang whips it out wide. I flick it up and cross it in, and it is Ronaldinho to head, but he just heads it wide of the post. I always get that angle wrong. I don't know what is wrong with me. I'm just doing it terribly every single time. And although this guy didn't have a team which looked as though he was trying to complete the challenge, he did bring Santi Mina on, so he was also someone that was trying to get this stuff done, just like myself. I get an opportunity to make it 2-0 with Iñaki there, and it doesn't quite work out for me, but then we whip across in, and, well, Ibra, I mistime it. Maybe if I hadn't tried to time it, that would have gone in the far post, but since I timed it yellow and badly, it went wide, and, you know, we stay at 1-0 up. It's a difficult situation to be in. At half-time, I make my substitutions. Militao comes on, switch in with my left back so Alonso can play at DM alongside Vieira. Two great defensive mids there. And then Iñaki Williams can come off for Perisic, and that'll be a straight swap, leaving Aubameyang up top, Ibra out wide with Ronaldinho at central cam. So 58 minutes on the clock. I El Tornado with Zlatan, whip it in, and it is Perisic to rise higher than anyone else. And I was actively doing more El Tornado crosses and stuff for this game, simply because every single time my opponent went down the other end, that was all he was trying. So it was almost kind of like, anything you can do, I can do better, or at least trying to be anyway. And then Ibra flicks it up, whips it in, and Perisic is there again, heads it onto the bar, but we get that first time reactions with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to hit the volley into the back of the net. 3-0 up, 66 minutes on the clock, and we get ourselves another rage quit, which I do think is pretty rare in Rivals. So we come away with another win and another notch on 2 of the challenges. So skill rating is about as high as it's ever been for me, you know, 1981. Maybe we'll at some point, unless we lose a bunch of games, we're probably going to tip over that 2000 skill rating at some point, which I don't think I've ever done. We're pushing up, you know, we're at 3000 weekly score right now. I need that to be about probably 5,000 or 6,000 to at least guarantee me rank 3. And we are 3 out of 6 for Rodri, 2 out of 3 for the score with an inform for the foot swap player. So at least we're getting there. Now, it will continue on for the rest of the week. You know, I'll play another 3 games later on for tomorrow's episode, see how far we can get. But I would most definitely say Iñaki Williams is the way to go if you're looking to do that, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get the foot swap player from scoring with an inform, get the TOTS player from scoring with Spanish players. Like, he is definitely the way to go, I would say. He's the most meta, most OP, unless you've got like flashback David Villa, or you've got flashback Torres, or prime Raul, or Butragueno, or something like that. He's a fantastic option, and at 100k, maybe I'll lose coins on him as the week goes on. If I don't get this done soon, the prices are going to start crashing, and you never know, he might end up costing like 60k, and at that point I would have lost a lot of money, and it would have all been for nothing, because, you know, I could have bought a Rodri for 40k, but I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's content for you guys. It's given us a challenge, and more importantly, it's given me Rivals rewards and warming me up for what's probably going to be a pretty sweaty weekend, considering EA have announced that our rewards from this week of Foot Champs will turn into TOTS rewards. Gold 3 OP, maybe they knew about that, because it seems that yes, we'll get 2 players, and yes, they'll both be from the TOTS, but like this week, we've got Community TOTS, which is the main one, and EFL TOTS, which is sort of like the bit part one. If that carries on every week, then if you're a Gold 3 player, it guarantees you a TOTS, but from absolutely any of the team of the seasons that are out at that point in time, so either of them. And if you finish Gold 2 or higher, at least one of your picks will be from a major league, which means, you know, like from the Community TOTS or from the Bundesliga, Premier League, La Liga, whatever is out that week, it would be a pick from that major leagues, which is pretty huge. So I think it's time maybe to step it up and at least get to maybe Gold 2 if we can. But yeah, I think there's something worth playing for in the weekend league right now, which is positive, nice, and it gives us a nice reason to play the game. So yeah, and hopefully they move the weekly objectives away from Rivals, or away from score and win with certain requirements in Rivals next week, because if they do that, if they don't do that, we've got to play a whole bunch of Rivals games, a full-on weekend league, and it could be a lot of games. But yeah, we'll see anyway. Guys, that is the end of the episode. Do me a massive favor and hit that thumbs up button. Let me know how you're getting on with the weekly objectives and stuff down below in the comment section. I want to know if you've got Rodri, if you've got Onana, all the other players. Let me know. Have a good day. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter and Insta. The links are down below. Most importantly, have a great day, everyone, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.